Have you ever gotten that feeling that you're just walking through life completely alone? And it's not because you're a bad person, right? Or that you're unworthy of love. It's something else. It feels like your mind is just wired differently than everyone else's. If any of that sounds familiar, then you're definitely in the right place.
So you've probably asked yourself a million times, why? Why does it feel like there's this invisible wall between you and everyone else, no matter what you do? A wall you just can't seem to tear down.
Well, I want to tell you something that maybe no one's ever said to you before. It is not because you're a bad person. The truth is, your mind is just completely different. This isn't some personal flaw. It's a genuine, fundamental difference in how you experience the world. So let's dive into that mind of yours, shall we? Is it a burden, or is it actually a gift? We're going to start by breaking down the first two traits that really, truly make you different.
All right, trait number 1 is what we call excessive self-awareness. This is where your brain basically goes into overdrive anytime you're around people. It's constantly monitoring itself. So you're not just in the conversation, you're also watching yourself from the outside, aren't you? You're tracking how your voice sounds, your facial expressions, every single word you say.
And wow, does this lead to an exhausting mental loop. You know what I'm talking about. You replay conversations over and over and over in your head for hours, picking apart every tiny detail. This isn't just, reflecting. It's this constant draining self-criticism that turns a simple chat into a total mental marathon.
And here's the real kicker, the paradox of it all. You'd think all this hyper-awareness would be a good thing, right? Like some kind of social superpower to keep you from messing up. But in reality, it's just a heavy burden. It's the very thing that stops you from relaxing, from being your true self, and from actually connecting with someone.
Okay, on to the second trait. And this one is a classic double-edged sword. You just cannot stand hypocrisy. It's like you have this built-in radar for it. You see all the little cracks in people's masks that everyone else just seems to ignore. And this is where you really see the two sides of it. The gift? Well, you see the truth. A fake compliment, a forced smile. You spot it a mile away. But then there's the dark side. That honesty, it can be really isolating. See, we live in a world that kind of runs on polite fictions. And when you refuse to play that game, people can mistake your sincerity for arrogance.
Okay, let's keep going. Now we're going to look at how this all builds on itself. We're going to dig into 2 more traits, independence and authenticity. And we're going to ask a really important question. Are these strengths your fortress, or have they actually become your prison? So trait number 3, emotional self-reliance. And this one is a genuine superpower. It's that ability to just handle your own stuff. When life gets tough, you don't really reach out, you go inward, you process it, and you come out the other side having solved it all by yourself. And that is a sign of incredible strength. But, and there's always a but, right? This very strength creates this unintentional, vicious cycle. A problem comes up, you solve it, alone, in silence. You never show that you need anyone. And pretty soon, people start to feel, useless. They feel like there's no room for them in your world. So that powerful tool that once protected you, that helped you survive, it's now become your own personal prison. Yeah, it keeps you safe, but it's also locking everybody else out, and you're all alone inside.
All right, number 4. Psychologists have a term for this one, low social conformity. Now, this isn't just about being a rebel just because. No, it's this deeply rooted need to stick to your own values, to trust your own judgment. You physically can't make yourself go along with something you think is wrong, not even to fit in.
And let's be really clear about this. This is just who you are. You are not made to be a copy. You are not built to just follow the herd in silence. That difference is you. It's your signature. And yeah, it's what makes you unique, but it's also what can make you feel like an outsider in a world that often prizes fitting in over being real.
Okay, this brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the 5th trait. And honestly, this might be the most painful one of all. This is the final wall standing between you and the connection you're looking for. Here's the thing. It's almost never that you don't care. In fact, you probably care a lot, deeply. The real problem is you don't know how to show it in a way that other people can actually see and understand.
So in your mind, being reliable, being honest, showing up when things get really bad, that should be enough. But friendships, real ones, they're not just built on that. They're built on all the small stuff, The shared laughter, the random text, that look that just says, I get you. People need to feel that emotional connection. Relationships aren't a transaction. They're about an exchange of feeling. Okay, so now that we understand all this, what do we do? Where do we go from here? This last part is all about a massive shift in perspective. It's about moving from feeling lonely to seeing your solitude as a choice.
First thing to get is this. Your friendships probably didn't end with a big bang, right? There was no huge fight. It was more like a slow fade, a text that you didn't answer right away, an invitation you turned down. All those small, seemingly harmless patterns we've been talking about, they slowly, quietly created that distance.
And this right here is the most important mindset shift you can make. The old story you've been telling yourself is, I'm alone because nobody wants me. But the new truth, the real truth, you're alone because you refuse to accept anything less than what you deserve. You won't settle for shallow connections because they clash with who you are.
I want you to try thinking of it like this. Your solitude is not a punishment. It's a filter. A really, really powerful, natural filter. It's what weeds out all the people who aren't right for you. It protects you, and it makes sure that only the ones who truly deserve you can even get close.
So the way forward, it's not about trying to become a different person. Please don't do that. It starts with understanding who you are. And from there, it's just about learning to open a little door in that wall. Just a crack. Not for everyone, of course. Only for the people who have really earned it. Maybe show them a tiny bit of vulnerability. Let them feel like they matter to you.
And so I'll leave you with this one last question to think about. Is there one person, just one, that comes to mind right now? Someone you might have pushed away without meaning to. Someone who maybe tried to get past those walls. Maybe, just maybe, the first step forward isn't as huge and scary as it seems. Maybe it's just a single message.